What's up folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel Code to Create. In this video you're going to see the basics of Python as the part 2. If you haven't seen my part 1, please do go and watch it. And today's agenda is to see what are booleans, what are objects, what are classes, what are control statements and what are functions. First let's see what a boolean. Boolean are true and false values or 1 and 2 values. Let's check it out with a small example. I'm going to move up to Jupyter. I'm going to create a new Python 3 file. Let's check it out with a small example. I'm going to say bool1 is equal to true, and I'm going to show you guys a type of bool1. It should give out bool. Yes, you can see here. So it can this means that true is going to be 1 and 0 is going to be false. So it can be either 0 and 1 value or true or false values. Let's move back to the presentation and check out what are objects. An object is simply a collection of data and methods that act on those data. Here objects are just variables and functions. That's all. Let's check it out how to create an object. You can just say variable that says boolean or a string. Okay, let me just create an integer. I'm going to say int 1 is equal to 1, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to say that. So this can be a method. Let me run it. This can be a method. So let's move back and I'll show you guys more examples. First let's see what are control statements. Yes guys, now we got to know what's an object. Let's see what's a class. Class is a blueprint of object. That's all. Let's check it out with a small example. I'm going to say class. This is how you create a class. I'm going to say class and I'm going to name this class as employee. And inside this we're going to create a method. That method can be a function or a variable, anything. So let me show you guys how to create a function. I'm going to say def, and then we have like the name. I'm going to say employee, and I'm going to put the parameter as self. I'm just going to print he or she is a employee. And then over here, as soon as we run it, it doesn't show anything as we didn't call this function up. So let me do that as we didn't call this class up. So let me do that. I'm going to say e is equal to employee. You're going to write the class name, that's employee, and put a bracket beside it. And then we're going to say e dot whichever function you want to call. That's going to be employee. Yes. And you can see here he or she is an employee. So now let's move and see what are control statements. There are 3 basic control statements over here. One is if, one is else, and other is else if condition. Let's check them out with a small example. I'm going to say that one is a client. There's like in the office we have clients, we have employees, and we have manager. So let's create in that way. I'm going to get the input. Before that we have to create a variable. I'm going to say let's say company. I'm going to name this variable as company, and I'm going to say input are you a client or an employee or a manager. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to create a if condition saying if company is equal to a client, then we're going to print out that he or she is a client. I'm going to print out that, let's just print out she is a client. She is a client. And then we have the else if condition. I'm going to say else if, we're going to say company is equal to an employee, then we're going to print out that she is an employee. I'm going to print out is a employee. And then we have the else condition that says if these two are not satisfied, then we're going to say else, we're going to print out that she's a manager. So what we've done here is we're going to check if this variable, whatever input we're going to get, they're going to input that they're a client, then we're going to print that she's a client. Else if this is not satisfied, if she's not a client, then we're going to come back here to the next condition, and this says company is equal to employee. If this variable company is an employee, we're going to print out that she's an employee. Else, if these both are not satisfied, if she's not a client and she's not an employee, then she's going to be a manager. So let's run this. We're going to say manager. She's a manager. Run this. I'm going to say employee. She's an employee. And client. She's a client. So now we know what are the three basic control statements. Let's move and see what is a function. I've showed you guys how to create a function, but we didn't see what's a function. So let's see that. A function can be reused that performs a single action. Whatever we need a single action to be done, but there's not a built-in function. We create a function that time, and we see, as we discussed in my previous video, Python gives you many built-in functions, like just like a print, def for creating a function and everything. You can also create your own functions like this. So we have different types of functions. That one is the built-in function and the other one is which we have created. Built-in function is going to be a print and the normal function is going to be a def function. So now we know what are the basics of Python. Thank you friends. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Bye bye.